Bob Woodward, in case you recognize that particular name, he's one of the biggest journalists in American history. This guy covered the Nixon impeachment from Watergate and everything for the last, God, it feels like for decades, actually. All the way to the present day, he's the go-to man when it comes to politics in our country, when it comes to the presidency and politics in this country. And now he's raised a bit of a stink with his new book, War. Now, I haven't read it yet, but after interviews with him and reports that I've seen, we got a problem, a bad problem. And yeah, it's about Donald Trump, and I hope to God that this is not true. I'm not on Donald Trump's side. The man can go to hell for all I care. But this, oh man. In his book, War, there are a few passages about the fact that Donald Trump may have given supplies to Vladimir Putin during the COVID-19 crisis. Supplies meaning heavy equipment and testers and home tests for the COVID-19 virus for citizens in this country. I hope to God it is not true. But if it is true, it just shows another reason why we can't have Donald Trump back in office. Because he's not beholden to the American people, to this country, to this Constitution, to our freedoms. He's beholden to foreign actors. In this particular case, a foreign dictator who has threatened this country more than a few times, who's put this country at risk day in and day out, who started the war. Now, I want everyone to understand what I'm saying on this point, who actually started the war with Ukraine. As much as the MAGA and Donald Trump want to scream, it's all Joe Biden's fault. Joe Biden's fault. If Joe Biden weren't there, it would never have happened. The same excuse after excuse after excuse. But here's the real problem I've got with all of this. If Donald Trump actually sent COVID-19 supplies and testing kits to Russia, it makes perfect sense, actually. Because in one of his press conferences during the crisis in 2020, this guy kept saying that if you have more testing, the numbers are going to go up, which is going to be a negative for them, for the Donald Trump administration. I hope to God this is not true. Because if it was true, let's just say I might have to do something that I really don't want to do. And before anyone jumps into any conclusions and say I'm going to go after Trump and be the third person who tried to do this stuff to him, I'm talking about legally. As I said before, I would get in my car, go into whatever state Donald Trump is in, slap the cuffs on him, and arrest him for treason. Because that's what Donald Trump did, was treason against our country and its people. At a time where a virus was killing Americans left and right for months, while Donald Trump kept giving out all these BS excuses of it's sooner or later it's going to go away. Like a miracle, it's going to just disappear. And then he goes to the point of saying, maybe the sun, now I'm inside making this video, maybe the sun will burn it away. Another point he says is that ingesting bleach and cleansers will just wipe it out. It makes perfect sense. He diverted testing utensils for for people in Russia, for Vladimir Putin. It makes perfect sense now that he didn't want anyone to be better here in the United States. It makes perfect sense. If Bob Woodward is correct, and I hope to God he isn't, but I have never had a reason to question Bob Woodward. He's one of those veteran journalists that you don't question because he knows the ins and outs of Washington. He knows the political scene. Excuse me. So, if it's true, Donald Trump, you better pray you win this election. Because you don't, your ass is going to prison. Big time. You're going to prison for this, if it's true. You already got a bunch of cases hanging over your head. The January 6th case in which you told your supporters to fight like hell while they attacked at the U.S. Capitol. The documents case in which you took classified information and hid it around Mar-a-Lago. Get out of here, fly. So you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble, Trump. For your sake and the sake of your family, you better start praying. This is one of those times where I say, give your heart to Jesus because your ass is going to belong to us. But frankly, I don't think you know Jesus. I mean, really know him. No, me, I'm saved. You? I don't know. I seriously don't. A man who has lived your kind of lifestyle, cheated on all of your wives, done as much dirt as you have done, I don't know. But when it comes down, get out of here, fly. When it comes down to it, this just takes the taco for me. You diverted supplies that Americans needed to protect themselves from COVID-19 and diverted it to your friend Vladimir Putin? Plus with I'm sorry, this fly is getting on my nerves. Plus with everything else, you lie about not having contact with Vladimir Putin after you left the White House. It seems that you have. Again, according to Woodward's book, there's someone in the administration who said yes, close to Donald Trump, saying yes, he has contacted Vladimir Putin. So are you lying again, Trump? Because all this is going to come out, whether you're elected or not. It's not looking good for you, Trump. Regardless of how many times you want to say the polls are swinging in your direction, blah, 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 yak, yak, yak. You're losing this election in the polls unless something disastrous happens with Kamala Harris. And regardless of the news and everyone and pundits trying to say this blitzkrieg when it comes to the media appearances, she's doing an amazing job. You, on the other hand, crawled onto your safe space on Fox News, and they're actually calling out your lies. Lauren Ingraham tried to call out your lies. This is not looking good for you, Trump. If this is true, and I hope to God it's not, but if it's true, you're going to spend the rest of your life in a prison cell unless you're elected. It doesn't look good for you. It doesn't look good at all. And honestly, I got no sympathy for you. I really don't. I like to think of myself as a forgive and forgetful Christian. Now, not so much. You have done immeasurable damage to this country. You've done immeasurable damage to your name. You've done immeasurable damage to your family, although none of you care. Hell, none of your MAGA care. They say that they think that everything you say is holy writ. Seek help. Even if you get reelected, seek some kind of help. Because quite honestly, the way this is going is not going to end well for you or your family or your supporters. Because at some point, they're going to just, some kind of snap. Some of them will snap out of this trance they're in for Donald Trump, and the truth will be known. It's time for you to snap out of this whole thing. Because if Bob Woodward's book is correct, you're going to prison. It's only a matter of time. Where if you're elected, the Republican Party is going to oust you, and then your ass is ours. If you're not elected, your ass is ours. So, start grieving now, Trump. Curse the hem of your garments, curse the heavens that will save you time down the road. But first, pray. Because you're going to prison, one way or another. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.